With Eric Kane, Brent Hubbs, Volquest.com, continuing the position previews. Not the sexiest position, not the flashiest position, Eric, but the tight end spot in Josh Heupel's offense. A vital piece, and this is a room that has had an extreme makeover since a year ago.
Yeah, you and I talk about it all the time. The tight end position, it's got to be the most versatile guy on offense. For that tempo offense to work, you got to have the same personnel stay on the field. That means the tight end, hand in the dirt, H-back, out wide in the slot. Got to be able to do a lot of things. But you're right. You've had Jacob Warren, Princeton fan. You've had Jacob Warren, McAllen Castles. And Castles did a really good job last year coming in and being here 1 year. But now it's a complete makeover. Ethan Davis, redshirted last year. You bring in Holden Stays and Miles Kitzelman. There's going to have a big learning curve over spring, of course, and in fall camp, because that position has got to hit for Tennessee to be successful.
Yeah, it's so vital, not just in the passing game working, but it creates the box game with numbers. If you get the numbers you like, you can motion a guy in, you create run game gaps, seams that they're looking for. You can flex him out, motion him out. All of a sudden, you change the defensive look. That might change your RPO read if you're Nico. So there's a lot of things going on with the tight end position if you want to get in the weeds with football. But let's talk about the personnel there. Ethan Davis is a guy who's tantalizing. I mean, beautiful when he gets off the bus, great athlete, has made plays in the passing game every chance he gets, but health's been a concern. It's going to be interesting to see where he's at, for me, from a physicality standpoint when this fall camp opens.
Yeah, he's been on campus for a little over a year and already had two injuries that kind of sidelined him for a little bit. And he's a guy that split out wide a lot and was more of a wide receiver in the high school realm and did a good job. But learning the physicality aspect, inline stuff, hand in the dirt again, same with Holden Stays as well. But he's a guy that I think can be really good here. But it's not one of those where it's just going to be a light switch on. He's going to get better, in my opinion, as the season goes along. But they're going to have to rely on him an awful lot. I think that one play that everybody remembers from Ethan Davis is that pass from Nico last year in the orange and white game. Just beautiful on the run, making some things happen. He had a couple of catches and some blowout wins. But Ethan Davis needs to hit for Tennessee. But again, I think it's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah, and again, he's better physically than he's ever been. It's just a matter of continuing to grow with the refined techniques and fundamentals and staying healthy there. Then you got the two transfers, and everybody talks about Holden Stays because he was the guy Tennessee went after from Notre Dame. Productive at Notre Dame, having to learn a high, fast tempo, up-tempo offense. That's a learning curve. This perception, I think, is that, he was at Notre Dame, so he was just this inline, brute blocker type deal. He flexed out a lot at Notre Dame and what they were doing. So he's had a learning curve from a physicality standpoint a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, with anybody, same with McAllen Castles last year, Miles Kitzelman, who we'll talk about in a minute this year. This offense is a different beast. Again, the tempo and everything they ask this tight end to do. And again, the physicality inside the line, that's something that he hasn't had a whole lot of experience in, but he's going to have to do that here for Tennessee. And I think that's going to be like Ethan Davis, I think that's going to be a work in progress every single day. The good thing for Holden Stays, he got a whole lot of work in spring, and he needed it, whereas Ethan Davis, kind of missed a little bit, and that's only going to make him better. But I think, like Davis, he'll get better as the week goes on. But Holden Stays very much a work in progress in this offense before it's a finished product.
Yeah, but he is also an accomplished player at the Power 5 level, so he knows what he's getting into. And that's the same can be said for Miles Kitzelman, who was kind of the afterthought. He was the sort of throw-in transfer. He understands the physicality standpoint, and that's a huge deal for Tennessee.
Yeah, he's played in this league. He's been a third down blocking tight end, a second down blocking tight end. He's been on the PAT team, the field goal team. He's been in this league for a couple of different years now, knows what it's like to go on the road in this league. Learning curve, again, offensively in this scheme, but you do bring a little bit of experience from playing in the SEC, and I think that bodes well for him. And he had a really good spring. I think he was one of the bigger surprises, along with Larry Johnson and some others, Jesse Perry in the spring. And hopefully he can build on that momentum here in the fall camp. They've always wanted to play three tight ends. Never been able to. This year, I think they might be starting out playing three tight ends.
We'll see if they play three tight ends. We'll see how many they play at one time. But certainly this is a three-headed race. They're going to all play. Who starts, we'll have to wait and see. Unique guys, unique body of work, of development there. We'll see what Alec Ablin gets out of that group here in fall camp. That's a look at a very vital, important position that's not talked about a lot in this offense, the tight end position.